Friday. Fanmail. Lovely. It actually is Friday. This video is going to be late because I didn't get it filmed yesterday like I usually do. I was doing stuff. Events. Next weekend is Maryland Mayhem, and I will be in attendance. I'm going to be hanging out with Al the Geek and other notable folks running amok. Didn't call up the auxiliary for this one. I felt it was time that I ran as a regular human again to remind myself what that's like, so I don't get too full of myself thinking, ha, look at how great I am. Yeah, you're great because you've got a squad of 30 semi-professional troops keeping you alive. I'm hoping to be dead by noon, and I can take it easy. We'll see what actually happens. Should be a lot of fun. Icarus521 asks, do you have any plans to go full Posh Reaver at any events this year? Not currently. The Posh Reavers are kind of not exactly a family-friendly concept. Maybe at Afterworlds, if I actually manage to go to any Afterworlds events this year. The Posh Reavers may show up in the new world just to run amok. I have to run it past Udo though, because they're different. Nifump, what is your favorite military hat from anywhere in history and why? I actually really like the wide-brimmed hat with the side flipped up for pike marching. I think they look cool. I've got a really nice one. It needs some maintenance. I have not taken good care of it over the years. It could use some oil and maybe to be restretched to fit my head. It got real sweaty and shrunk a bit. But that's my favorite look. I think it's a good look. I am Eternal. Among the people you know, who has the largest private collection of blasters? I don't know. My guess would be Walcom. Just because he bought the Curators, the Nerf Curators collection, and got the vast majority of that. And those two combined is probably the largest. I know it's not me. I know Walcom has a larger collection than me. Flux also, Dr. Flux also has a really big collection. And I know of at least one person that isn't a big name in the hobby that, if they're to be believed, have like 2,000-3,000 blasters. But I've never counted mines, or I haven't counted mine since before I had a YouTube channel, so I have no idea how many I have. And I doubt Walcom has a solid knowledge of exactly how many he has either. It would take forever to actually pull them all out, count them all, catalog them, and I haven't done it. So I don't know is the answer. Big picture. What is your favorite non-electric Springer? Oh, I'm real fond of the Harrier. I'm also real fond of the Caliburn. I'm also real fond of the Hammershot. So I don't know that I have one favorite. There's just too much variety, and I prefer to enjoy the variety rather than pick one and focus on it more than the others. John Riverstone, what are your thoughts on a Magfed Forerunner? Well, they did a Magfed takedown, and it was really quite functional and popular, so I see nothing wrong with a Forerunner. I think it's got a better grip for it anyway. Another of the people who did Magfed takedowns put a more pistol grip on it. It still doesn't have a stock attachment point, though I think there's files. I know there's files, because I'm pretty sure I have one. To be able to put a stock on it, which would make it even better. And what about a triangular flywheel design? I don't know that I've ever seen a triangular flywheel design. I know I've seen quad, where it's two this way and two this way, and so there's four wheels that the dart's going through all at the same time. I don't know that that would actually improve anything, though. Maybe stabilization, but it would also be a lot more complicated. And if any of the wheels went bad, Lord only knows what that's going to do to your trajectory. It's bad enough when you have two motors that need to be really in sync. If you increase that by one or increase it by two, you're increasing the points of failure, which it would depend on if the benefit was worth the added maintenance that's going to incur. Savage X378. Have you heard that there's a magpie version of Vash the Stampede's revolver? Yes, Yes, I was aware of that. Wasn't a huge fan of the magpie design, though, so I never looked into it. But, I mean, it looks cool. Jaeger collects. Would you like to see Hasbro release more blasters from the Halo games? As I never played Halo, I played it like once and it made me motion sick, and I've never really been huge into the lore. I honestly couldn't care. Like, nah. But I've got a lot of friends that are huge into it, and I know they would love that. So, you know, I would like it for that reason. Lego Boy. Have you watched Cowboy Bebop? And what did you think of it? I haven't. I tried, couldn't get into it. Just, it didn't snag me for some reason. Chris McDonald. I'm in Massachusetts. Where is the best place to start to find a Nerf club? So, the World Foam Alliance. Go to worldfoamalliance.org and register there. We're trying to get as many people registered so that we can find people. If there is an existing group, eventually you'll be able to find that at the World Foam Alliance. Alternatively, you can join the Federation of United Nerfers and ask there. They have both Facebook and Discord servers. You can ask there and see if there are any clubs in that area. I am not familiar with a Massachusetts Nerf club, but that doesn't mean one doesn't exist. Dartzone.io might also have that information. And just Facebook. Search, you know, whatever city you're in or the biggest city you're near. I'd assume Boston. Boston Nerf Club. If there's one that exists, they probably have a Facebook club. You can also check the local colleges. Colleges will often have either an HVZ or a Nerf club. And so checking there is a good place to start. Alternatively, find a city park that will let you host a Nerf event and go host one. I've got a video on how to start a Nerf club and how to host a Nerf event. Sometimes you have to be the one that starts it. Somebody has to start it. If one doesn't exist now, be the one who starts it. And where can I find a place to get my blasters modified? Again, those same places. The Federation of United Nerfers, Facebook. There aren't a whole lot of people that I know of that just take random commissions anymore. Partly because so many blasters are so good off the shelf, there's less call for it. And there's so many good resources on how to do it yourself. My channel, for instance, I've got lots of how-tos. It depends on what you're wanting to do. If it's a simple spring upgrade, you can get the spring on Amazon or out of darts and do it yourself. If it's a rewire, well, you need to know circuits. You need to have the tools for soldering and stuff like that. But it's definitely learnable at really any age. The tools are the hardest part. Tools can be expensive. Materials can be expensive. Getting someone else to do it is going to be much more expensive. But the Federation of United Nerfers, Nerf modders welcome. There's all Facebook. Go to Facebook, join the Facebook groups, ask who's taking commissions. That's pretty much what you're going to have to do. Kenny Snap. Is there a way to put Picatinny rail on a Raptorstrike? Yeah. There's any number of options for converting Nerf rail to Picatinny rail. In some cases, there's kits for it. Other cases, you just buy a 3D printed section. Worker, I think, has injection molded Nerf to Picatinny rail things, and you get them in various lengths and cut them to the length of the Nerf rail you want to cover. Alternatively, you can just buy metal Picatinny rail from, like, Amazon and just screw or bolt it to the blaster where you want it to be. So, yeah, it's definitely possible. Dreaming Dark Rye. When can you make a video on the shoulder cannons from back in the day? I can do it whenever I want. I just choose not to. I'm not even sure how many of those are even functional anymore. Those were built back before I had any idea what I was doing. I would probably need to completely rewire them. They're all still probably wired for IMRs or trust fires. I'd need to do a complete rewire to bring them up to LiPo standards, which, I mean, I should do anyway. And a lot of them would then need to also get rewired to use MOSFETs or heavier switches or heavier wire. But I could. I just don't use those anymore. Because they were fun and all fun and games when I was doing stuff at HVZs way back then, but I don't run those anymore. Afterworlds would be a place that I could bring back shoulder cannons. Again, you can do whatever you want at Afterworlds within reason. Obviously, I would want to run it by Udo if I wanted to play some big bad with shoulder cannons and whatnot. I have no idea if he's going to want that in the future. I haven't talked to him about what he's going to need or what he might want from us for that. We're always available for whatever he needs. Dan Buddha 42. What would you carry as a basic field nerf toolkit to games? So I bring a Leatherman and a screwdriver. I always have that in my trunk when I go to events. If I can't fix it with a Leatherman and a screwdriver, I'm probably not going to be able to fix it in the field anyway. Though your question did prompt me to finally order a lipo-powered soldering iron. Because I've heard about them, I've seen them, but I didn't own one. There was a $10 one on Amazon. I went ahead and ordered it. If that doesn't work out, there's an $80 one that looks much nicer that can also be plugged in, which would have various benefits. I might go ahead and splurge on the fancy one. But that's about it. One thing I should add to my kit is a collapsible ramrod. For clearing jams in long-barreled springers. I don't have one of those. There's designs for printing them. Very simple. You just, some tubes and a bit of elastic cord, and you can make a fairly easy collapsible ramrod that'll fit as long as it's less than half an inch. Train! And finally, Hammermans. Do you know of any straight Talon mags that have a capacity of 8, 6, or 7? No. They come in 10, and then the next size down, I believe, is 5, the Harrier. There are 3D printable ones that you can print in whatever capacity you want. Alternatively, you could buy a 10-round one and cut it down, or if you wanted to make it reversible, you could put in a screw or something to stop the follower from going past 8. You could either have screws that come in from the side and keep the follower from going any further down, or a bolt or something that comes up from the bottom that the follower would then hit. Either way, the key is that you don't want to interfere with the follower spring, which, if you just had short screws coming in from the side, that would probably not interfere, but it would hit, the follower itself would hit that screw coming in. And if you had one that went up through the middle of the coiled spring, that would stop it from going any further down, that would also do it. Alternatively, you can just only put 8 rounds into a 10-round magazine. If your group's worried about you cheating, that's. But I don't know of any commercially available 6, 7, or 8 round magazines yet. Hasbro, there are for full length, just not for half darts. Anyway, haha! I hit a direct hit. Okay, I have a bunch of package, I've got a bunch of letters, I've got a packet, good stuff. But first, these possible messages. I have no idea if I'm actually making money off of that, but somebody told me I should do it, so I did. Let's take a look what we got. We're going to take a look at the letters first, while the train squeals in the background. I have here a letter from Dustin Bergen, who should be visiting me, I believe, next month. Might be the month after that. Hi Xavier, I realize it's been a while since my last letter came through the time portal, so I thought it was time to give you an update about my situation. Hopefully this will be shorter than the last letter I sent, but there's no guarantee. First off, I'm not sure if you were able to find my younger self or not, but it seems like things are different or changing, or at least the horde that was after me is now gone. Maybe they were called off, maybe not. Either way, I'm free of that situation. Second, I was able to gather enough loose materials and still functioning technology to build a device. Something that I was able to use to travel through time and space, which allowed me to arrive on what appears to be an alternate universe/timeline. I found out later on that after my arrival that I had somehow traveled to Earth Prime. As it turns out, I wasn't on Earth Prime before the nukes fell and scorched my world, but rather some other variant from the multiverse. Who knew? Clearly not me. Back to the point. Earth Prime is now my new home. I would mention here that the device I created was an updated version of my original temporal displacement device that allowed me to send the previous letter. It's just a bit bigger than the original model. Third, I found myself walking through what seemed like a strange new world, which I mean, it was, of course, seeing as I've spent the last minimum 50 years of my life living in a post-apocalyptic hellscape with a toxic, barely breathable atmosphere. So seeing a blue sky again was a strong and clear and, with strong, clear and breathable air. It was quite the shock to me. That was until I came across something that was even more shocking, somehow. I came across what looked like a fantasy realm, complete with castles and dragons and the like. I'll admit it was weird, but definitely better than the post-apocalyptic that I came from. Anyways, I walked to the center of this realm and found a smallish town called Storybrooke. I found myself making a connection with the mayor, Regina Mills. She told me about her life and how she recently lost the man she loved, Robin. I told her about my life, mostly about where I came from and who I was before. I also mentioned that my first wife, Sarah, had died before the bombs dropped. The KRs dropped their nukes onto the world. Why am I telling you this? Well, it's because Regina gave me something that I never thought I would have again. Love and a reason to live. That was a few years ago. Regina is now my second and hopefully my last wife. Also, I wanted to mention that the history between you and I that I mentioned before, that was only the history that I knew. It seems to me that on this world, things either are or will be on a different path or trajectory, at least for now. And that leads me to my last point. Finally, my last point for now. At some point, I will make my way back to my original base. Hopefully, it's in the same location. Not sure if my alternate self, General Dwayne Ace Connerson, has recruited you and your crew to be his allies yet, but hopefully he does soon. When and if he does recruit you, maybe our history will be different. Hopefully I arrived in time early enough to prevent the KRS, which is still active, from turning Sigma into Sigma Corp. We shall see what the future has in store for us. Desorin Rug, formerly General Ace. I told you it would be shorter. That is fun. He's coming to visit me. At least I think it's him. Someone's coming to visit me. Visits are possible. You just have to schedule it with me. And, you know, get yourself here. Wait! There's a note. This letter is a follow-up to your fan mail number 187 video, if you need reference. I have no memory of it whatsoever, but then I don't remember what I had for breakfast, so... Very cool. Letters are fun. That's neat. What are these packages from him? No. Yes! We'll get to that. We're going to look at the other letter first. This from a J.T. Berry. Ain't never been sniffed. So much for that. To my friend, Captain Xavier. Hi, Captain. I wanted to start a Nerf YouTube channel with my friend, and I was wondering if you had any tips for starting, or if you do, please write back. If we make a successful channel, we would be insanely thrilled if you were on one or more of our videos. I had some questions for you. If you were in one of our videos, could you bring Tyr along with you? Anyway, thanks for inspiring us to create videos on our own, and I hope to see you someday. Your pal, J.T. Berry from Tennessee. You and me and my friend have the same weirdness levels in a good way. That is always good. Yeah, lots of tips. Mostly go to YouTube and watch the professionals who have tips on how to start channels. Getting a good intro, you know, good lighting, good camera, all of that is really very, very important. Picking your niche content, what kind of videos you're going to make. You know, I have a number of regular series that I have been making for years because those series continue to provide me content. Like, can I take a K-26? I can keep making those because they keep coming out with new blasters. the other regular series that I do as well. They're ones that I'm never going to run out of content because new opportunities continue to bring them forth. My loadout videos. What are my other regular series? I don't even know what I do anymore. But having that, figuring out what do you want to do, and it needs to be some things that you want to do, videos you want to make. Because if you make videos that you're not actually passionate about, not actually interested in, it shows. And it wears on you quickly. That's why I quit doing some of the series that I used to do, and some of the reviews and stuff that I used to do. I don't do as many because I just didn't enjoy it. And it wasn't fun. So, but yeah, good intro, good lighting, good camera. Figure out what you're going to do and stick with it. Don't get discouraged when you don't get 1 million followers in the first month. I've been at this for 8 years and I'm just kind of stuck at 140,000, and I'm okay with that because I'm still able to do what I want to do and go to the events I want to go to and make the content I want to make. But a regular upload schedule is also very important. People like knowing that every Wednesday you'll have a video, every Friday you'll have a video, or every Monday you're going to have a video, or once a month you're going to have a video. That's something they can look forward to, and people like that, like having some regularity in their lives. If you do, I would love to be in a video. I don't know that I can make it to Tennessee, and I don't know that I could bring my minigun with me to Tennessee. I'm in Washington, so I'm a long ways away. But we could do something where I film stuff here and you film stuff there, and then you edit them together and upload that. That's something that could happen. Or you never know, maybe I'll be in Tennessee someday. But yeah, thank you for the letter, and good luck. Definitely. Do the thing. Do the thing. Alright. We're going to open the package from Dusty Bergen. This one can only assume is the thing. Captain! I'll keep this short. I found this in the packs about thrifting, and I know how much you like this particular blaster. Hopefully you don't have this particular variant. If you do, well, now you have another. Either way, enjoy. Dustin Bergen. Ooh. You know, I don't think I had this variant. The Rebel blasters are so svelte, and the white tiger stripe one's particularly cool. That is awesome. Thank you. Oh, still seems to be in good fiddle. I very much appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Which package? Well, this one came with a letter stuck on the outside, so we'll start with that. Howdy, sir. Hope all is well. Seems the note didn't make the box. The books are from my dad and I's collections. I know you will appreciate and care for them. Hope some were from my grandparents, too. Hope you have a lovely road, good sir. C. Lawson. Well, that is awesome. I love books. Particularly love adding to my library. It's rapidly filling up. I need to start reading some of them and potentially passing them on. Oh, I opened this up and literally had flashbacks of my childhood. My mother is known as the Gnome and had all of these, and I remember reading them all as a kid. Oh, that is amazing. Having a copy of this for myself. Oh, yes. #1 bestseller, Gnomes, the Forest Gnome. Very, very cool. Last of the Mohicans. An old copy. I don't believe I had a copy of this. American Folktales and Songs. Caesar's Gallic Wars. Classic interlinear translations. Ooh. Another one where I don't know how old it is, but it's almost certainly a lot older than me. Copyright 1893. Yeah, that's amazing. Complete short stories of Mark Twain. Oh, very good. I don't think I had that one. Series Alexander's Feast. Essays by Lord Byron. Shakespeare's Macbeth. Homer's Iliad. 1896. And these are older than my house. Huckleberry Finn. English and Scottish popular ballads. Oh, that is fabulous. Timeless stories from today and tomorrow. Like old sci-fi. Like proper sci-fi as opposed to... Most of what we see nowadays is really space fantasy rather than real sci-fi. 52. So yeah, back when they still had an optimistic opinion of what year 2000 was going to be like. Hector Hugo. A complete series of Saki. Neat. Other Voices, Other Rooms. Never heard of that one. Favorite Poems of Emily Dickinson. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Well, those are amazing. Les Mis. Excellent. Cricket on the Hearth. Another one that's older than copy dates. Twelfth Night by Shakespeare. The Tempest. A long time since I read The Tempest. 1911. That is amazing. Plop. It's a comic. That looks weird. I dig it. And finally, ooh, Anne Rice, The Vampire Chronicles Collection. Interview the Vampire, The Vampire Lestat, and The Queen of the Damned. I think I've read Re-Interview of the Vampire, and I think I've read Queen of the Damned. I don't know if I've read Lestat. Very cool. That is an amazing collection, sir. That is incredible. That is an absolute treasure trove of... Not only are they, old books, but they're just cool old books. Good stories. I have no idea how you got this all in here. That was incredible. But this, having a copy of this makes me happy. Thank you for that. Very, very cool. Alright, up next we have, almost certainly, more books. I'm guessing Warhammer books, given that it's coming to me in a Warhammer box and is coming from Matthew Yoho. I'm gonna have trouble fitting all this into my library today, but that's a cool problem to have. Nope. Dear Captain Xavier, I already know that you doubt what you're doubtless thinking when you noticed the conspicuous smaller box inside the main box. I wasn't, but I am now. Even more conspicuous yellow post-it note on it. What was holding the note in place? And no, I didn't just send you a copy of number 1136 Dawn of Fire, Sea of Souls, as indicated in the bottom of that box by the barcode, on account of the fulfillment servitors making a whoopsie-daisy and sending me 2 copies, like they did with Leviathan. That copy of that book is ensconced within my own personal black light. I just happened to have the box it came in on hand, you see, while I was packing up the larger box, and as luck would have it, the tome that is in there fit perfectly. You'll have to get to the end of this note to learn what that is, though. Alright, we've got Soul Drinkers, Brutal Cannon, Word Bearers Omnibus, The Reverie, Requiem Infernal, Oubliette, Deacon of Wounds, Bookkeeper's Skull, Sepulturum, Cadia Stands, Cadian Honor, Traitor Rock. Neat. And now for an explanation of what's in the box that I went on about at the beginning of the note, and that I didn't explain except to clarify that it isn't Dawn of Fire. It's a limited edition copy of the first book of a fantastic trilogy about the Inquisition, depicting a particular investigation taking place on Holy Terra, with potential galactic implications. Set right before and then shortly after Robert Guilliman took his place as regent of the Imperium. The Vaults of Terra trilogy. The Carrion Throne, The Hollow Mountain, The Dark City. Ooh. No, I didn't get 2 copies of that particular limited edition novel. It's actually the very first limited edition black novel tome I ever acquired. It was in those early photos of my bookshelves, but you have it now because they re-released the entire trilogy as a limited edition box set, and despite there being a distinct visual difference between the 2 fancy pants copies of the Carrion Throne, so they're not actually identical, I'm still not about having duplicates of stuff if I cannot have duplicates of stuff. Enjoy! Well, I very much appreciate it. For those of you who are curious, the reason he keeps sending me Black Library books is he keeps updating his amazing collection with the various omnibus editions. And so he sends me the non-omnibus editions, which is just amazing. Cadian Honor. Ooh, yes. The Oubliette. Nice. Deacon of Wounds. Cadia Stands. Nice. The Hollow Mountain. Vaults of Terra. Brutal Cunning. I'm looking, that one's gonna be fun. The Reverie. Requiem Infernal. Soul Drinkers. And this, the Word Bearers Omnibus. Traitor Rock. The Dark City. And this is a super fancy, yes. Oh, that is amazing. That is a fancy book. Vaults of Terra, the Carrion Throne. Oh, such a pretty book. Such a pretty book. Oh, can I get the fancy sleeve back on it? I can. That is amazing and awesome. You spoil me, sir. Someday I will find the time to read more of them. All right. Well, I'm at the end of loot. Amazing loot. So many books. Books are awesome. And a blaster I don't think I had. And letters and stuff. If you have a question you'd like to ask it in the comments of this video. That's where I will pull the questions from next time. If I didn't answer your question this time, feel free to ask it again. Maybe I'll get to it. Maybe I won't. Mailing address is down in the description if you want to send me loot. It's always appreciated, but in no way expected. It's just really cool. Thank you for watching.